So tonight we're moving on to the villains of Digimon Adventure 2. Now I'm using the word villains a little loosely here because there aren't too many new ones that weren't already covered in the last video. Just like before, we're following the same rules. Every Digimon in these lines has to be from March 2001 or earlier, which was the release date of the final episode of Adventure 2. And the movies are their own thing, so we won't be touching those. Also, if possible, we'll stick to the evolutions that were already established at the time. And yes, there is Myotismon, but since he's basically just Venomyotismon, we're not touching him. So we're going to start off with Kimeramon. Kimeramon is basically the Digimon Emperor's Data Frankenstein, so I want to keep that stitched together vibe. And I know we already used him for Machinedramon last time, but I can't think of a champion that fits more perfectly than Deltamon. He not only is he this amalgamation of multiple Digimon, one of them even looks like Skullgreymon, which is one of the parts that's used for Kimeramon. For the rookie, I would have loved to use Geosmon or Monodramon, but they are a little bit off time-wise, because even Monodramon being a mere 9 months off, coming out in December of 2001. So we're going to go with Black Toyogomon, just so we don't have the complete overlap with the Machinedramon line. And for the Mega, there's nothing that fits better than Millenniummon. Literally just being a more advanced version of Chimeramon. Now, after Chimeramon, we get to everyone's favorite arachna lady, Arukenimon. She's a bit tricky because evil bug Digimon were very limited at this point. Bug Digimon in general were very limited at this point. So we're going to backtrack slightly. We have our champion of Dragomon, who I love the fact that we have a full spider. We're in Australia, this isn't that big a spider, but the fact that he has a person face is very concerning, which matches up with Arukenimon. And our rookie, just following the vibes, we have Kodakugumon. And I love this guy's little gloves. They are just adorable. Now, the only Mega that we actually have for any bug types at this point was Hercules Carboterimon. And he doesn't fit that aesthetic at all. So we're going to have to leave this one capped out at ultimate level. Moving on from Arukenimon though, we have my favorite underrated Digimon from the entire series, Mummymon. I'm so glad that he has a Mega now, but if we're rolling back to the early 2000s, we have to get a little creative. Starting at his rookie, we have Shamanmon. And I like to have a little bit of a story going on with this, because Shamanmon, he feels like he's a little bit Egyptian priest or shaman who ends up being a bit cursed. From here, he drifts away but still has that wild mentality and becomes Fugumon, the Ugumon variant. It's just a little bit more primitive and a little bit more twisted. And then the downsides for him come when he gets to his Mega, because he has to pay the piper and he becomes Ghoulmon. I know it doesn't really fit the Egyptian motif, but I could see what's under the bandages exploding out into a Ghoulmon if we can't have Pheromon, that is. And last up, we have the hidden away Emperor of the Oceans, Dragomon. Dragomon is a bit of a stretch. He is the Lord of the Dark Ocean, and man, I wish the show explored that storyline more. But we are going to have to get a bit weird with it. We're going to go with our champion being Octomon. lets us keep our tentacly goodness coming from Cthulhu, but he also lets us get a little bit weird and wacky with it, especially considering he's now in a shell or a pot or something to that effect. You know who else is? His rookie, Sakomon, who I know is now a Shellmon rookie, but back in 2001 definitely wasn't. And his mega is one of my favorite megas of all time, Pukumon, a shelled up pufferfish that's punk and metal and wrapped in. He's got little bits of metal attached to him all over the place, just like the chains on Dragomon. And I feel like he fits Dragomon's aesthetic perfectly. And that's all the villains for Adventure 2. Do you agree with my evolution lines, or would you have gone with a different route? Let me know down in the comments. And while you're there, if you've been enjoying these villain line breakdowns, don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.